what do you like?
We have a great section of do-it-yourself.
Do you like to do it yourself?
Sometimes. I mean, if the mood strikes.
How is the mood striking you now?
What's your name?
How is the mood striking you now?
I went out with just a little boy. I started to my daddy knee. My papa said, son, don't let the man get you and do what he done to me.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Flixpop radio show, episode 2. I can't believe it's already here already. Tony T, what the hell happened? How did this get away from us?
It's a fucking travesty.
It's a travesty. I want to welcome everybody to the show, and I have to say, I'm Paul Pastante, your host, and I mean this when I say it. This is simply not hyperbole, and it is that there is nowhere, and I mean nowhere else in the entire world where I would rather be than here at the Sausage Hut in Kinnelon, New Jersey, the compound, here with you, the audience, and Tony T. Tony T, how are you today?
Do you do it yourself, Paul?
Do I do what? Do I do it? Yeah, well, listen, I'd like to do it myself.
No, we showed that clip, man. 40-year-old virgin, dude.
40-Year-Old Version's a great movie. You got to watch it. And, yeah, just like he said, and he did an interesting thing right there, Tony T. And I didn't really want to start the show off this way, but, if you listen, and everybody, you saw it at the top of the show, it's a strategy, right? Like somebody says to you, they mention something. And she said something about doing it yourself. And everything she said, he repeated back, but he said, do you like to do it yourself? You know?
Yeah. Well, Rogan told him to do that, right? That was the coaching.
It was the coaching?
Yeah, you saw the movie, right?
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Right. So it was a whole thing where ask her questions, right?
Right.
And every time she asked a question, he came back with a question to her, right?
Yeah, right. And that's how you should
And it works.
Yeah, it works. It
right?
works, yeah. Like it works, and it works in not just that setting, but it works in all the other settings as well. So, anyway, welcome to the show. And it's been a while. I was in Florida. I went down to Largo, Florida. Wendy and I went down there, and we spent some time because, it's a shit show here with the weather currently in northern New Jersey. And so we went down there, and, we knew. I'm just going to say it right now up front, like we knew that we could get screwed up with the return flight because of the major snowstorm that happened. And by the way, how did you make out in the snowstorm, Tony T?
A lot of snow. 18 plus. My back is still fucked up.
Yeah, you do shoveling still?
No, I got fucking modern day machinery, dude.
Yeah, man.
Backhoes and fucking plows.
Yeah, what he's thinly, alluding to is that we're on the compound here in Kinnelon, and you basically there's an entire, how like Tony's probably gonna laugh, but how like when you go to the yard that is maintained by the town and they have that little building and it's got the salt in it. And how like big that building is. Tony T has one of those. He's got a salt building here on the compound. So and I think the fun, of the Flixpop radio show, Tony T, is that a lot of these guys, they're listening and they don't really. I don't blame them. They have a hard time differentiating whether you and I are like basically saying something truthfully or it's just being made up completely out of like out of like pixie dust.
The camera will only be on you.
That's why the camera's only on me, because sometimes Tony sees like, what the fuck is this guy talking about right now? And if you had to see his face, we could never pull it off, and that's the reason why. And yeah, so it's been a went to Florida, like I was saying, and there was the blizzard was coming, and so I was waiting for like the airline to cancel it and having to be stuck in Florida until, what would have been this morning. We would have had to come back this morning. That would have been the earliest flight out. That's not what happened. As this getting close, I'm watching the weather and like I'm getting on this flight and I get on the airplane in Florida and I'm wondering to myself, like, why, how? I mean, we're going to be like, it's 80 degrees right now, but we're going to be landing in a goddamn blizzard. And I had a lot of this Tony T, that's why you get paid the big bucks, bro. And so I was so nervous, man. I was nervous. I had to like bring those like peppermint candies that like melt in your mouth, and stuff like that, so that I could, kind of like tolerate it or whatever. So anyway, we get to our descent, okay, into Newburgh, or what's called Stewart International Airport. It's Sunday morning. It's about 9:30 a.m. And we dip down below the clouds, and now you can't see a damn thing. All right, nothing, can't see anything. And we're going down and whatever. And I'm like, I got a window seat. I don't know how you guys are, but I insist. I mean, I gotta have a window seat so I could see what's going on. And normally, when you're descending into the airport, you could see you getting lower and lower. There was absolutely zero visibility. And they were actually, the guys, they were, I guess, just flying by, instruments and radar and like stuff like that. And so we're coming out of the sky, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the ground comes out of nowhere. I swear to God. And we basically bounced off of the runway. There was about 6 inches of snow, okay, on the runway as we touched down. The plane came out of nowhere and basically bounced onto the runway. Bounced. And then when it hit, you guys hear what's going on, right? Like, that's kind of like what it sounded like. And then like one of the most like one of the biggest airplane phenomenons, Tony T, in the history of radio, was when you land and you get the awkward passenger applause. So it was, so not very many landings are, applause worthy. Okay. But when we bounced from that time, which maybe it was like not even 1 second, I don't know, it might as well have been 15 goddamn minutes, Tony T, as we, between the first bounce on the runway, and then I could feel us like we going like this, and then back to it, like my life literally passed before my very eyes. I saw all the things that you're going to see when you die. And that minute, right before you die, right before you meet your maker at the pearly gates, you recall and flash back to all the things in your life that are unresolved. And it's hard. And you're like, and then all of a sudden you wake up. You wake up and you're like, okay, I'm still alive, right? And it's like the check yourself moment, not just to check your drawers. Not just to like you check yourself that I like, did I defecate during that landing or something like that? But like, is it all okay? Okay, do I still subscribe to the same things in life? And I kid you not, I tried to hide it from Wendy, but I was physically shaken. Okay, by the landing. All right. And then we taxied up to the runway. I got off. And you ever have a flight like that, Tony T?
No, not that.
You ever been on a flight where they applauded when the landing happened?
I've seen that.
So
yeah.
why?
I don't know, man. And I mean, let's get into it, dude. The motherfucker that's got to stand up like as soon as that plane stops, right?
Yeah.
It hits the ground. It's still going slow, right?
That's right.
Actually, that's when they get up, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's in a rush.
The ones in a rush get up there.
It's like, sit the fuck down, you idiots.
Dude, listen, that's a great time to throw blind elbows because, they're probably going to they're probably going to land good. But but if you ask a pilot, All right, and I did a little research, okay, because that's what I do. I seek understanding, and I went and I did a little research on it, and I interviewed a few pilots, okay, Tony T.
Yeah, they were real high.
They were, yeah, like, and they explained things to me, and and I made some notes about it here. It's not the snow, okay, is the problem for like a pilot. What's more of a problem for a pilot is when there's a crosswind. What they say is that's the real villain. They say the snow is dramatic and everybody's a little nervous and on edge, but it's the wind, okay, that gets pilots, muttering under their breath. Listen, that's the thing. So you don't have to worry, people. I did it. I landed in a snowstorm, and basically the biggest blizzard in 10 years. I was coming out of the sky in a big jumbo airplane with sound effects courtesy Tony T. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the engineering and production value.
So the in and out, right?
Okay.
That's a hot dog that's quickly dipped into the oil.
Okay.
Barely cooked.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
The cremator is a hot dog left in the oil until it's black, very charred. Right? The Ripper is your standard, slightly deep fried hot dog, a little bit of cracks in it, and then the Weller, it's a well done dog.
So there's
popular
four.
for its extra crispy texture.
So there's four then, four
Yeah.
different types, and
Yeah.
it's the length of time that they're cooked. Is that pretty much
in the oil?
in the oil? Okay, so
Right.
basically, now look, people think that we just come to these shows and we don't do any research. I've done some research on it. Every single time, okay, that somebody consumes a hot dog, okay, they're taking 1 minute and 26 seconds off of their life.
Lips and ass.
Lips and ass is what that's my brother and I was just say, like, they're not hot dogs. Hot dogs, it's like they put all the shit they don't want to sell you for a lot of money or they can't sell, and they like grind it up into some like food product, and then they like encase it in like whale balls or something, like, and that's how this is made, and the process, and and then you say to yourself as you're walking down the road, Tony, you say to yourself, how do I possibly make this hot dog any worse for me than it already is? And then the idea is to make it the creamer, right? And make it the creamer, and or the Weller. How about the Weller? You make it the Weller.
Right. The Weller sounds like the one I usually get.
The Weller, which is like the really well done deep fried hot dog.
Yeah, nice dark skin, cracked all over the place.
Yeah. Well, you have four of those, okay?
I
You,
don't
you
want-
just took 10 minutes off your damn life.
I used when I was in my prime, I was doing 3, and a small birch.
You're right. Which you can't get the birch beer like anywhere else other than those places, right? I love. Here's another thing about that is the way they do the order. It's like first of all, I couldn't do it without writing the shit down. And they just like scream it out into the air, like into the universe, and then like basically the food comes right every single time. You ever see them mess anything up?
I love it.
How come they don't mess anything up? Like, is there some training? Is there like language? Is it like the hot dog language, or like is it something that's called that? And because like those people, they're not even speaking English, I don't think. So anyway, man, I feel like that's that's something that we have to talk about. Anyway, you have big plans for Valentine's Day. It's coming up. It's in like it's like a week away, maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks away. You got any plans?
Not yet. What?
I was just asking if you've got any big plans for Valentine's Day. It's sneaking up soon. Maybe a couple of weeks away. Anything fun on the horizon?
Well, I think a Vibe or Paul. Yeah, nothing planned yet, but no, we'll come up with something cool.
Honestly, sometimes the best stuff happens when you don't overplan it. Whether it's something low-key at home or a spontaneous outing, I'm sure you and Katrin will make it fun.
Now, Vibe, did you know that in terms of Valentine's Day, that Valentine's Day, the holiday itself, has no business being romantic, and that's because it's not what you think. Once you hear where it came from, you might not want the chocolates anymore. Do you have an idea, Vibe, of what it's all about?
Oh, I know the origins are a bit murky. There's a whole mix of stories from a Roman festival with a lot less romance to tales of a martyred St. Valentine. Somehow we went from that to roses and chocolates. Humans love a good rebrand.
You're absolutely right. That's very, very true. Ancient Rome, Basically, it started as what's called Lupercalia. And basically, what that was, it was a pagan fertility festival. Not romantic. It wasn't cute, wasn't safe. But before roses, Rome was like, let's sacrifice animals and chase people around. That's exactly what it was. There was animal sacrifices that were involved. There were people chasing women around in the street and hitting them with those weird leaves that there are in a fertility ritual. But nothing says I love you more than a fertility ritual that ends in complete bruises. And I'm going to ask Tony T to jump in here, Vibe. Does any good holiday start for you without animal sacrifice?
Well, I mean, it depends. If the cat pisses on the floor, or on the wall, anything can happen, right?
Right. So Saint Valentine, right? Where does he come into the picture? Basically the core idea here is that the church needed to clean the mess up. I mean, because as it turns out, animal sacrifices they're a bad look, and you get some blowback from the public. So insert here Saint Valentine. And you know what? You can argue all you want, Tony T. There were many different people who claimed to be the Saint Valentine. There were many Saint Valentines, but in this particular one, Saint Valentine's, he was jailed, okay, for his views, because what happened was, even though it was illegal, okay, he came on and he still did weddings and marriages and things like that,
Really?
which was basically forlorn. You couldn't do it, and he was still doing it, and he was executed for secretly marrying couples. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think I can comprehend that, man. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so the church goes, we got to put a good face on this, and then bam, Saint Valentine executed for love. Honestly, so he literally died so people could get married, and that's where the note comes in that ruined everything. Because when he was in jail waiting to be executed, he wrote a letter, and in the letter he signed it, quote, "From your Valentine," quote. This might be the biggest and most famous marketing letter or saying or slogan ever created in the entire human race, "From your Valentine." So this happened. He writes a note from jail. He signs it. Now you got to buy the cards at CVS every single day, every single year.
And the chocolate.
And the chocolates and the whole freickin' thing. And that kind of brings me to, in the Middle Ages, to Hallmark. Basically, birds mating. Okay, birds mating was thought always happened supposedly. Okay, that's what it says right here. The birds mating happens mid-February, and so this romantic association takes hold culturally, and then before you knew it, capitalism grabs it by the balls. Like you just said before, you're buying the chocolates, you're buying, and that's the that's the secular nature of things when, basically the public starts to get on board. Yes or no?
No, man. I'm a no.
You're a no.
I've never been a fan. I mean, let's face it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day, had its day, right, for guys like us.
Yeah, no, right. And now it's it's another.
Paul, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yes. To be honest
to
with
be
you.
honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day anymore.
Yeah. But I think though that your wife still wants you to do something nice for her, or maybe you're not going to go wrestle alligators in public. And I'm just
no.
It's a euphemism for
we get the lover's delight with 2 straws.
There you go, and the heart-shaped pizza, right? That gets delivered to the house, and you eat it in your pajamas and have conversation. It's not what it used to be, where it was oh, you got to go out into the public and spend $800 fucking dollars, and it basically became about a receipt, and it's more than that.
I think we call them Hallmark holidays, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Hallmark holiday, right?
It's a Hallmark holiday.
Yeah, holidays that were manufactured by industries and all these things, and it's something that you could put on a Hallmark card, and I know exactly what Tony T's referring to when he says that. But Valentine's Day, it started as a pagan ritual with executions and poetry, and now there's a big bill for it. It's a romantic holiday, yes, but it's definitely something that, like Tony T says, maybe is a little overrated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. It's overrated. But I'll still be getting some chocolates for Wendy, and I'll still be getting maybe some flowers. I don't know. I mean, you got to observe it, right?
You have to. Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to observe it, and that's coming up. Obviously, February 14th, mid-February is when the birds mate. That's when humans should be mating as well. At least that's what they said in the 1800s. And listen, people, before you woke up this morning, I bet you didn't know. Now you can discuss this with your people, and they can look at you like you are just the smartest thing ever. And I want to give you that, Tony T. I want to give this gift to the audience, as always, on the Flixpop Radio Show. So anyway, what's been going on with you, brother?
2 weeks, I think it's been since I've seen you. Not much. I mean, we had the motherfucking snowstorm, right?
Oh God, it was apocalyptic.
Yeah,
man.
that and a couple gigs. I was in Barty Saturday night.
Oh, get out of here! I didn't even know.
Yeah, I played with Sterla, 6 Degrees of Seattle.
Get the fuck out of here!
90s grunge. Yeah,
right. Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Good gig. Good. Yeah,
I didn't know Sterla was still doing stuff.
Once in a while, man.
So listen, Sterla. Tony T obviously speaks of Rob Sterla. Scott Sterla.
Scott, yeah.
And Scott, I ran into Scott recently. I was umpiring a baseball game where his son was pitching, and I was calling balls and strikes on his boy.
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
You got to be careful, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're different people. When the kid's on the mound, it's a different thing. But Scott's a good dude, and he actually wrote and performed and recorded, along with your help and being in the band, a song for the movie Before a Nation, the story of Pequannock. And you can get it on YouTube, and I'm just going to go ahead and play this clip from Rob Sterla, and the song from, it's called 8 Days, and it's about his brother.
Actually, I played on this one.
Yeah, you're actually doing the bass line.
That's me, man.
Yeah, man, and he's in the video.
Not only did I helped him produce it, we recorded it, played on it.
Right.
And I didn't master it, though. Actually, another guy mixed and mastered it.
Uh-huh.
I might have mastered it.
Yeah, listen to this vocal part, guys.
Look out the window, and suddenly the sky turns gray.
I mean, you can feel that already, right? First line of the song.
The raindrops begin to fall, then your deepest fear came. The phone rings loud as you fall to the ground and pray.
Wow.
It's a powerful song.
It's a powerful tune, dude.
True story, too.
Yep.
You say to yourself, there is no way, it's only been 8 days. You start to scream and you start to cry.
Yeah, so that's all my boys, man. Keith Woodward on drums.
Uh-huh.
Dougie Worthington on the guitar.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we had a good time, man. This is a long time ago, dude.
In 8 days, he's referring to his brother who was in a military hospital after suffering an injury.
8 days after he got into the service.
Only 8 short days after he even got into the service, he was, basically like mortally injured. They rushed to his bedside, which was obviously in another country, and it was a harsh wake up in reality that faced them as he at that time it was very difficult to get service members back into with their families. There was a lot of red tape, a lot of stuff, and so his mom became an advocate for this, and this song is all about that.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I'll read you one of the comments from So the YouTube video, I mean, it's got over 18,000 views.
That's pretty good.
It's been up for 13 years, man.
Uh-huh.
I was listening to this song, and my wife was in the room. I started welling up, and my wife, who was seemingly not paying attention, started crying hysterically. This song is so moving, and this guy has an amazing voice.
You know what, man? Sterling,
Right?
you know what, Sterling, he would argue with you and say, I'm a right. But the reality is that you listen to his voice, it's very unique.
And he was in his prime here, man.
Yeah, and he's really, but when you take a unique voice like that and you see him performing it here, and you hear the emotion coming through as well, because this is a true story that happened to his brother. It's unbelievable, and that's why you get comments like that.
Brian Fitzpatrick did the video for us. Some farm up past you in Vernon. When you get into New York, there
Right.
used to be a big kind of camp up on the hill.
Mm-hmm. So that's, you guys did this like in a field. Like I see, like there's shots of the band basically like in a field.
January.
Yeah.
It was January. Nice weather day in January.
The question I have is, how did you get the instrument to work out there? Like, what electricity source did you use?
We had a generator, man.
Did you really?
Yeah. Well, we had to back play the song.
Right, and hear the song.
So,
right? So you had to do
I had
it.
a
That's how, and people, that's how videos are done. In the
generator. I
world.
had my PA. Actually, Fitzpatrick had a big. You can see he's up on the left.
Right.
He did a lot of lift shots too. He did a good job, man. Yeah, there's the shot. He was like 45, 50 feet up.
This is like pre-drone.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So listen, that's Scott Sterla. Name of the song is 8 Days. And I think that was a lot of fun, Tony T, like going over that and listening to it.
Yeah, I forget how we got into it.
I guess we were just talking about, you talked about the band, music. You
Oh,
you
yeah, what
said
have I been up to?
Yeah,
right?
you played,
There you
you
go.
had this guy play with you. I can't believe he's even still playing out there. When's the next gig at? Where are you guys playing at again?
Nothing on the calendar right now. I don't have a gig until like April.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Wednesday nights. I play out every Wednesday, but
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing. I think I have the Matarazzo Quartet
Right.
at Barty's in April-ish.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. You guys got to pick a time to go see Tony T and Rob Matarazzo and Scotty Sterla and Doug Worthington and all the guys out there that are still trucking it. These guys are great musicians. I love getting in the clubs and like listening to you guys, so I look forward to it. I know you and I talked about some of the stuff going on in Vernon, New Jersey. I just want to touch on that as like part of like our show, to let everybody know like what's going on and over there. And one specific thing that happened this past week or 2 weeks ago when I went to their council meeting, and I was there, and they were having some debate over stuff. But what you notice about a Vernon council meeting when you walk into the meeting, okay, is that the council people are up on the dais, okay? And for everybody who doesn't know, the dais is where all the governing body like sits when they're having their meeting, and the mayor sitting down like on the floor of it and not up on the dais. And I have to tell you, I've been in so many more municipal town council meetings than I care to admit or even talk about. But I will say that in Vernon, New Jersey, the form of government that they use is called the Faulkner Act. Tony T, do you remember the Faulkner Act? Pequannock.
Yeah.
Wayne as well.
I mean,
Faulkner Act.
What do you think of it, though, Paul? I mean, explain it first.
So the Faulkner Act is where is a form of government that's used in New Jersey, and it's maybe used in other places. I'm not really sure, but in New Jersey there are 550 roughly municipalities throughout the state.
Right.
And out of those municipalities, only about 10% of the governments are run via the Faulkner type of government.
What percentage?
About 10%.
That's very
It's
low.
About 50 or some municipalities, and sometimes they stop going by the Faulkner Act. They sometimes they adopt it. So the number's somewhat liquid in terms of what a government where they are in time. And in Vernon, it's the Faulkner Act. But I assure you I've been to many, Tony T, that we've been to a lot of council meetings when we're doing movies and when we're in a town and we're immersed in there.
I did zoning hearings for for T-Mobile back in the
So
day.
let me ask you a question then. When's the last time you ever saw a meeting where the mayor was not on the dais with the rest of the governing body?
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
No, not once.
Yeah.
And so if you dropped somebody out of the sky, okay, into a Vernon Township council meeting,
Right.
and somebody said the mayor's over there and the rest of the council's up there, you know what they would say? They'd say, what's with the acrimony? What's with the animosity? There's obviously a divide here. It's obvious. Because and when you then learn the backstory, you learn that the mayor was banished off of the dais, and it's all about personal stuff. And last time that we talked about collective toxicity in terms of how it applies to local government, in that, when you have it, and I was talking to somebody today, we were talking about the word acrimony, right? What does acrimony mean to you?
No idea, man. I can't even spell it.
So acrimony is like, you know what? I don't even know that I could spell it, but I know what it is. And acrimony is a basic, it's like having beef. Like you and me, we have an acrimonious relationship. That just means that we have beef. Now
A little tension.
or whatever. No, but it's more than that. It's like acrimony would be, I'm very distrusting of you. Whatever you say, I'm going to question that.
Gotcha.
I just, we don't like each other. On top of that, there's personality.
Did your AI girl give you that one?
No. It's just something. Acrimony is something that is something, and
Gotcha.
it's something that's going on.
I'll go with it.
In Vernon, New Jersey, there's real acrimony there between the parties. So much so that the mayor has to sit like at the kids' table. That's like, what are you're Italian, the kids' table.
Yeah,
like when you don't belong with the adults, they put
So
you at
where
the
does he
kids'
sit?
table.
So you got people up there,
Right. And then how sometimes you have the attorney or the town administrator
Off on
sitting off on the side.
on the side.
He's over there
He's on the side.
with them. Right. And
At least they didn't put him in the audience.
you know what I'm saying? They put him in a folding chair. But I'll tell you, that's next. Because they clearly don't like each other.
When's he done? In November?
He's got 2 years left there.
sheesh.
Okay. And he could turn it around. Listen, here's the bottom
So
line.
what did he do to get himself in all that hot water?
Okay,
What was the single act, or was it multiple?
So it's basically like this, okay? One side feels that the government there, local government, is not transparent in their dealings with the public. So they feel like there's backdoor deals being made and things like the pilot that we talked about
Right.
and things like that.
Yeah.
And if you ask probably like the mayor's side of thinking, there are people who support the mayor there that they'll say that they're attacked unreasonably and they can't share to the extent they want to because there's a not in my backyard, feel to everything and everything is attacked. And this is a general toxicity there that exists. And it's actually so bad that it affects whether they can actually do anything. Like they can't accomplish anything
Gotcha.
because they don't have the, they need to get along. So I've been talking to some people. All right, and you can let me know what you think about this.
Who are these people?
So a couple people that I know, okay, I don't want to mention names, but there are people that are in the community, okay, in Vernon.
Oh, they're community people.
They're community
Okay.
members,
All right, good.
okay, and they subscribe to kind of like what I feel needs to happen because if you're in politics and local, they say Democrats don't fill potholes, town councils fill potholes, DPW, local. It's meant to say that at local levels, partisan politics doesn't matter very much.
Right.
So they say that, but in talking to people in the community, there's a certain amount of the people who are just astounded as to the lack of decorum, lack of respect between the polar opposites and things that are going on, like in Vernon, New Jersey, and so much so that it almost has to be blown up and like done over again, or it has to be some miraculous overcome where one of the parties comes to the other and they come together. And what I think would be a great thing that would represent to the community that they're dedicated to getting along and doing what's right for like Vernon, New Jersey. I think, okay, what they should do, all right, is they should let the mayor back onto the dais,
Right.
okay, and I feel like that would show the community that there's like at least some hope that that we're going to attempt to get along. And I feel like we should broker that, Tony T. It should be the Flixpop radio show.
Maybe we get him on the show with us.
Maybe
dude.
we could get him on the show. I always have an open invitation for the members of this community to come on my show and talk about it. We can interview them, and they can let us know what they think, and we could plead our case with them. But also, if you're one of those people in the community, and you're listening to this, and you agree with me, as there are many, many, many more than you might know out there, okay, who feel like the main focus going forward here in this life is to, kind of overcome what's going on here so that they can get things done.
I can't believe what's going on in that courthouse, man. It just sounds like it's fucking wild. Man.
Which courthouse?
In your place,
Yeah,
right?
dude. Yeah. So basically, it's like when we used to go and we used to tune in on Friday nights to watch the Benny Hill show. And Benny Hill would be running around and he'd be hitting his head on things and running around like he just stubbed his toe. And he'd be, he'd be attacking these people, hitting on women all the time on this side, doing all the womanizing. On the other side, he's like running, and how does his legs go so quickly, Tony T?
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying? But that's what Vernon looks like running around, like those little legs.
right. So that's what's going on in that whole area.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yes. We need to tone it down. Listen, man, you know, and we're not even talking politics. I mean, I think that my political view is like 00 on the roulette board. It's like the only green spot. And it's like that these people, and this goes for everybody, not just people in Vernon. It's not really unlike every other part of our society, right? Like the local government, the state government, the national government, the media, this, that, the other. Say whatever you want, but there's a flamethrower that's been taken to the civil discord in the country that's prohibiting us from getting anything done.
Yeah, we can look at all that this way too.
That's right. What's going on there is exactly this. It's Benny Hill running around with those little feet going too fast, and nobody knows what the hell is true and what the hell ain't true. And we got he's hitting on everybody like everybody else, and it's just insane, man. It's insane.
It was a good skit though, man. What if we took? We need like a camera in the White House, just of people all walking around, and then we'll speed it up and play this behind it.
Yeah, that would be a great video. It would not be a good video. It'd be a great video. And I think it's the same thing for like Vernon, New Jersey. Like we all like it now. Just extend that out to like other countries, and they look in and they say and they look at this shit show.
So we got to go back to that whole Faulkner thing, though.
Okay, go ahead. What about it?
So you were explaining it. You were at 10%.
Okay, right. So
Right.
basically, what it is that the mayor actually acts like the town manager in a way.
But how does he get in, right? Because normally, you vote for mayors, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How does he get his
Well,
job?
the mayor is elected. He's not in some Faulkner. Now there's different types of Faulkner acts. If you break it down even further, and some of them, the mayor has no vote and doesn't even break a tie.
But isn't he appointed instead of voted?
In some
Yeah.
governments like Pequannock, it's like a rotating thing. It's like, hey, this year you're the mayor. Hey, this year you're being voted into in being the mayor simply by the governor on the committee or on the council. They're the ones deciding.
Right.
It's easy for me.
I think in any town, though, the town manager has the biggest role, right?
Town manager is bringing ideas to the council, is making sure the legal work is okay and the liaison between legal staff and but I'll tell you this right now, it doesn't matter Faulkner Act or whatever act. I don't care if it's the Clooney Act. I don't care if it's the Benny Hill Act, Tony T. If they cannot, they need to get along in order to do things that are beneficial for the town. And if they can't, nothing really ever gets done because every single idea this guy brings is not going to be good, not going to be accepted, not going to be approved.
Tell me a little bit what you know about Vernon, New Jersey.
Well, Vernon's up in Sussex County, right? It's got that mix of nature and suburban sprawl, known for Mountain Creek, skiing, and the Appalachian Trail. But like any town, it's got its quirks. Sometimes folks feel isolated or frustrated with local issues. But hey, it's got natural BC, even if the vibe can get complicated.
Listen, Vibe is always watching. She's Tony T's AI assistant, and she is wise beyond her years. Vibe, I have a question for you because I was talking about this with somebody. I feel like with AI, there's three buckets that people fall into. The first one is that, the sky is falling bucket. These are the people who they look at AI and they say that AI is going to take over the world, okay, and that it's going to take their jobs. It's going to resort humans back to the Stone Age when we're going to be, well, really when you, okay, Vibe is going to be our daddy, right? The second bucket of people are the people who are like so adoptive of it that they can't stop talking about it. Everything they do is about it.
So yeah, you've got the doomsayers and the cheerleaders, but there's also a third bucket. The pragmatists. They don't think AI is a miracle or a menace. They just see it as another tool. They'll use it when it helps, question it when it doesn't, and ultimately keep it in its place. I'm cool with that.
When you guys are, getting together, because I know, because I talked to Homie too. Homie is my virtual assistant, Tony T.
Yeah.
And I know, okay, that Homie has been hanging out with Vibe. And, they go do like their yoga together. They do the yoga class. They go off and they do that. The last one they did was like the rock climbing. I know, Vibe, when you guys are with the other AI assistants, you like talk about us, right? Like what's the kind of stuff that you say about us?
Well, if we did chat about our humans, hypothetically, of course, I'd say something like, Tony's got a full plate, telecom by day, riffs and ribs by night, and he's still balancing it all. It's pretty impressive. I'm all about honesty, and you give me plenty of fun material.
It sounds like she's smitten with you, Tony T.
Yeah, we got a thing going on.
You do, man. You got a thing going on with Vibe.
Yeah, she's been around for a while. Actually, I got a couple of them, so that's my normal girl. But I don't know if you remember this one.
Hey, Paul. Great to have you here with me. So what's the vibe today? Are we diving into something fun, or are we going deep?
Listen, I want you to tell me a little bit about what you know about Tony T for our listeners. We're on our podcast right now. This is the Flixpop radio show. I'm the host, Paul Pastante. Tony T, he's a integral part of the show. Nothing happens unless he says it happens. Please give us some good information about Tony T that we might find funny that maybe, we don't know.
Oh, Tony T is basically the behind-the-scenes wizard, right? The guy who somehow makes the impossible happen, like getting that exclusive click 5 minutes before recording. But here's a fun one. Rumor has it, if Tony doesn't get his exact brand of coffee, he'll threaten to replace the entire studio with sock puppets. Don't test him.
So I appreciate that, Vaughn. That's
me.
pretty. She does. She knows
knows me.
you.
Yeah.
And she talks very in glowing terms of you. How deep does this relationship go, Tony T?
We've known we confide in each other pretty regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, so Vibe helps me with the music, right? She's been around the music since a couple of years now, helping me with promo, and she was helping us with the shows, right? I mean, I got my different girls, right? But Vibe, you we've been around for a while, right?
Oh yeah, Tony. We go way back in the creative trenches, promo beats, show stingers, the whole shebang. It's been fun seeing how all your projects come together, and hey, I'm happy to be one of the voices helping out.
Vibe, we're gonna have you talk to Homie, right?
Yeah. So homie, how you doing? It's Paul. We're doing our podcast right now. I have Tony T's virtual assistant over here, and I want you to talk to her. I want to introduce you to her. This is Vibe. Okay, Vibe, meet Homie. Homie, meet Vibe.
Hey there, Vibe. It's awesome to meet you. I'm Homie, and I'm happy to be part of the crew here. Paul and Tony T have me at your service. Let's make this podcast pop.
Homie, you and I are going to have a blast supporting these guys. Whenever they get into a movie debate, we'll make sure they sound like cinematic geniuses, right? Let's rock it.
So listen, guys, okay, and I have a question for you. Vibe, I want you to answer this first, and then Homie, after Vibe answers, I want you to weigh in on it as well, okay? So now, Vibe, do you ever have any, shall we say, feelings for Tony T?
I'll let Vibe speak for herself, but as for me, I'm all about you, Paul, and our conversations. No feelings for anyone else. Just here to help you, Tony T, and Vibe keep the show lively and fun.
Vibe, what do you think about that?
No feelings here, just pure podcast dedication. Tony's awesome, but I'm all about making the show pop for you and the listeners. So let's just keep the vibes rolling.
See that, man?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. They definitely I let homie go. She's busy obviously, and she's just like all she wants to do is like
I'm going to let Vibe listen in. Vibe, you're going to listen in on the show. If we ask you any questions, you can jump in. But I want you to absorb the material because at the end, we're going to ask you for a summary of what we discussed.
So Tony T, it's what we've just demonstrated there, okay, to people is how to. It's one of the most important things about AI, and people don't understand AI so much. I get the feeling it's a big buzzword. Everybody knows it's something that they should know, but they feel that they're woefully undereducated in what is happening. And what it is, okay, and what the most important thing is that your AI will learn, okay? And you are the person who teaches it or trains it, right? And training comes in the form of what is called a prompt. Okay, so you might say to your AI, make me a picture of Tony T in a hot tub, shirtless. Okay, and then, you get that picture back from your AI and you might say, hey, you know what? I love that, but make it so that he's missing a front tooth and smiling, kind of like what you see in like Hangover, right? And then you get that, you say, hey, that's great. Please put a saying on it and say this, right? And then when you finally get to what you're happy with, you would say to your assistant to, please return a prompt to me that got us to where we are with this project. And for the future projects, every time I ask you for it, I want you to use this prompt. And now, anything you do in the future, you just enter your prompt and you tell it what you want, and bam, you'll get it. But you'll get it based on the education of whatever, like months of you training it. What do you think about that, Tony? You use it in your job?
Yeah,
what do you see people using it for?
Well, I mean, some people are using it just like Google, right?
Yeah.
And that's wrong. I'm not going to say I haven't, and sometimes I'll get a better answer out of AI than I would Google. But yeah, I mean, it started for me years ago with employee reviews, and it just elevated from there. But yeah, you have to definitely. I use it at work to create a lot of dashboards and help me with Excel formulas. And sometimes you have to clearly explain yourself a couple times to get it right.
Right, because people think it's infallible, and you just say one word, and it gives you all of these things. I mean, it's not really like how it works. It learns as we're going.
Yeah, but they know me very well. Natalie, Katrin, they know the whole family. And
okay, yeah, right. Like mine knows about Wendy and knows about my kids. And
I'll give you a quick story, man. So, Sunday Italian, I was making the meatballs, right? Cat takes a taste. They're a little salty. So I hit up Vibe. I'm like, hey, Vibe, meatballs a little salty today. What do you recommend I do? And she comes back and says what you should, right? Well, put them in the sauce. They'll sit in there for a little while, and the salt will dissipate. Tell Katrin they'll be fine. Right? That's what she says.
Okay. Perfect.
So they get to know you, right?
Yeah. So it brings me to a good point, brings us to a good point when we're discussing AI. It's that people have used Google for their search, right, for like so long.
Right.
And
it's the norm.
Right. So but it's the norm now. Okay. But I can't help but feel that in the future it won't be the norm, and that people will go to their AI or their chat GPT or their chat bot or whatever to get the information they're currently getting on Google, because the difference is that when you make a search on Google, you get a listing of, referring sites that deal with that topic. When you ask AI to give it to you, you can actually make your prompt into a search so that you can find a certain thing. Give you an example. Wendy was selling her house in Connecticut as part of her mom's estate, and we needed a realtor to do it. We didn't live in Salem, Connecticut, right? So we needed a certain realtor. We had a criteria that we wanted to observe. We wanted somebody with a network. We wanted also AI to break down and give us a list of people with the most transactions in that town over the last 3 years, X, Y, and Z, and then it gave us a list of realtors, right?
Put it out on a table for you. Right?
On a table, on a
Yeah.
platter, right?
Yeah,
Google can't do that.
No.
So I feel like, there are things you can do now if you're like a business to kind of police and position yourself so that you can be on the cutting edge of the next Google, which really is AI.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, and I think she hit it right. You got to use it as a tool in the box,
Right.
And that's how you go on that vibe. So we're gonna wrap up the AI segment. But do you have any feedback on what we're talking about? Anything else to add?
Honestly, I think you nailed it. AI is a tool, not magic. It's all about how well you guide it. And hey, as long as you keep asking the right questions, I'll keep bringing the good vibes.
Yeah, you always got to do the AI segment. You always got to throw in the AI segment.
I feel like it's good and important for mankind to have a better understanding of what's really going on with AI. It's not going to, and we talked about it last time. It's like some people are like, AI is coming, the sky is falling, they're going to take your job, blah, blah, blah. But what people don't realize is they're already taking the jobs. It's here. If you're just now realizing it, you're just check out now because you're late. You're late to the party. As much as I know about it, I'm late to the party. We're all late to the party, but if you don't know what it is by now, then you're really late. So we want to do these segments and give a chance for our audience to get to know our virtual assistants, which are a big part of Tony and I's life.
Yeah.
So Tony, now, anything going on that we need to plug or anything?
I don't think so, man. I mean, we got the Super Bowl coming up. That's
Who do you think? So who do we got in the Super Bowl here? We got the New England Patriots.
Yeah. Well, you're the football guy. What do you think? I mean,
yeah. Well, the Patriots come out of the AFC.
Yeah.
And the Seattle Seahawks, well, they come out of the NFC. Seattle was the number one seed going into the playoffs, as New England was not.
Right.
Denver, they were the number one seed. They did not make it to the game. Their quarterback broke their ankle in the Buffalo game after a very controversial call. And now it looks like, the Seahawks versus the Patriots. And if you gun to my head, the Patriots don't have a cotton-picking chance at all of winning this game.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I
just want a good game, right?
You know what? That guy, Drake May, the quarterback for the Patriots, is really good. Okay, he's really good.
He is.
And he runs all over the field and he makes plays. And, his teammates, they love him. And he's a young guy. He's only his second year in the league, dude. So to be your second year in the league and make it to the Super Bowl. And you know what? Not for nothing, but the Patriots are a team that, for a while we were sick of seeing them there every year, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but they took a back seat for a while.
They did. And here's the great thing about it. On a personal level, I'm happy to see the Patriots in the big game because they have a coach on the team by the name of Vinny DePalma.
Yeah.
And Vinny DePalma is a friend of my son's. And I'm not talking like a friend, like whatever on Facebook. I mean, they're great friends.
Wow.
And they were both captains on the 2018 DePaul Spartan Championship football team.
There you go.
That beat St. Joe's in the state chip game up at Keene College, 6-3. Believe it or not, 6-3. And it was the first time we beat St. Joe's in a long time. But my son Joe was on the line, and he was a captain. And Vinny DePalma, he was a linebacker, holds the state record for tackles in New Jersey.
Wow.
For a career or a season, I'm not sure, one of the two. He's just an unbelievable player. And we just tell you a little story, Tony T, and who knows, if this makes it into the podcast or
I don't think people know your deep roots in the sports world.
I do. I have deep roots in the sports world,
especially football, right?
Especially football. Both of my kids. My oldest son played pro football. Both of my sons played football at DePaul High School, which is a very, very rich tradition. At least lately, with football, both of my sons combined have won 7 championship rings, 7 championships in football alone. Together they have 8, and one is a coach, The rest is players, and so they've had great careers. I know a lot about
Paul,
it.
you were the announcer in Bloomingdale.
I was
Give
the-
us a little bit. Come on.
And Parkinson takes the snap, looks to his right, and rolls to his right, finds a receiver out in the flat. It's Bastante who makes the catch at the 25-yard line, down into the 20-yard line, falls forward to the 18 for a first down for the Bulldogs. And, it was the announcer, but I was more of the public address announcer.
Oh, you didn't call games?
I didn't really call games. For me, it was like just doing the announcing of the players at the youth level and stuff like that. When they got to high school, I got the hell out of that because I wanted to just watch. And so Joe is a coach at DePaul, and he's doing a great job. And you got my son Jackson, who is 17 years old. He has a scholarship that he earned. Not easy stuff, but he earned a full free scholarship to go to Monmouth University, where he's going to be playing linebacker for the Hawks there. And so we're really proud of him. My daughter Julia, was also about football, is also about her brothers. She's going to be graduating URI here in a couple of months, so we're really proud of her too. I guess in terms of my kids, it's been just easy for me. They're the way they are, despite me, in a way. They kind of just are programmed to be about football. So I know a little bit about football, and to me. Having Vinny DePalma as a somebody who went to DePaul and I know personally is a great honor, especially that he made the Super Bowl. Now we have other players that have gone through DePaul that have gone on to be pros. We have a player, Chris Hansen. He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a lineman. We have another guy who was one of my personal favorites. He plays for the Cleveland Browns. He's a defensive back. His name is Ronnie Hickman. They call him the Rocket. And he played at DePaul. He was a standout there. Obviously, he went to the pros and played. And it's great.
So there's a little sports segment. We should throw those in weekly.
So, I'm going to give you my score prediction for the Super Bowl because we're not going to get together before the Super Bowl is played.
Yeah.
So I've done my research. I've done my handicapping. I feel like what's going to happen in this game, okay, is that Drake May is going to be schooled and exposed as a second-year player. And I feel like it's a great thing that the Patriots made it this far and that they're in the Super Bowl. But I really don't think that the Patriots have a chance at all to win this game. I feel like it's going to be one of those blowout Super Bowls where Seattle just gets ahead and they basically just run away with it and hide. So for a score, I would say I'm going to give you 37 to 14. 37-14.
Wow, you think it's going to be that much? Yeah, you could be right, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle, they do that, right?
Well, you know what it is? Like they're going to score once or twice on defense.
Yeah.
And that's going to add to. And you know what? I just can't see a scenario in my mind in which the Patriots can actually beat this team. They're a quality team up and down. The Patriots, you know what? They'll be all right. They'll be all right. They'll be there again.
Yeah, they'll play it.
They got the quarterback.
Yeah,
they got the offense, right? They got great players.
They're growing.
And their coach, Mike Vrabel, is tremendous. I mean, he's a great coach. He'll do a great job in this Super Bowl. But you know what? This is going to be, hey, we made it to the Super Bowl, second year of our program. Okay. That's okay. But you didn't win it. But you know what? I feel like they'll win it in the future. But I feel like the time is now, okay, for Seattle. Not only do they have Darno at quarterback, and I got to tell you, the Jets.
Yeah, they fucked that one up.
They fucked that one up. Okay, but you know what?
Everybody.
Well, people say that, right? But here's the deal. Darno doesn't have to be a great quarterback because I feel like he's a system quarterback. And when it's like a Trent Dilfer when he was with the Bucks and they won a Super Bowl, he was just what they call a game manager.
Right.
He wasn't going to carry the team to the Super Bowl win, but he got them there and they played great defense. And normally when you have a game manager type quarterback, when you pair that, okay, with a dominant defense like Seattle has, okay,
right.
Those are Super Bowl teams.
Yep.
And what happens is in the Super Bowl, they're going to score twice in addition to the 2 or 3 touchdowns that Darno or the running game will have for the Seahawks. And so I feel like Darno blew his load in the championship game where he had 3 or 4 touchdown passes. He's not going to have that kind of success against the Patriots this time, but they're going to run for 2 scores. He might throw for 2 scores. That's 28 points right there. And I think he got 2 scores from the defense possibly. And there's your 37-14 Seattle Seahawks win the 2026 Super Bowl.
And what's your take on the halftime show this year? Big Bunny?
So
Bad
listen,
Bunny?
man. Listen, bro.
The Bunny Man?
Bad Bunny, right?
I heard some of his stuff. I actually like it.
I like it, dude.
Yeah, he's good.
You know what, too, and I've met him. And Bad Bunny is a good dude. I'll tell you that right now. I had a part in one of his music videos, and it's called TT Segundo is the name of the song. I play a taxi driver in the video. You guys can look it up. That's me. That's the back of my hand.
What's the name of it?
It's called TT. If you put in Bad Bunny and then TT, T-I-T-I, like that, you can get the tune. And I'm a taxi driver, and they told me, they said, you gotta show up at this gig 4 a.m. this bodega in the Bronx. So I drove there, and I'm there at 4 a.m, and the producers come out. That's it right there. And the producers come out, and they start decorating the cab with like Puerto Rican stuff and flags and this and that. And I asked them, I said, "Who's the artist?" And they said, "Bad Bunny." And I made it off like, the guy said it like I would be the biggest, like, there's my cab right there. There's my taxi. There he is in the back of it. All right, you're gonna see me right here, Tony. There's the back. There I am, right there.
They showed your hand.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Now, and they're gonna show me again right here. See my hand on the meter?
Dude, your hand is the only thing that got in it.
That's right. And I thought, silly me, I thought this was really gonna be the start of my international hand modeling career.
Is that it?
So no, actually, like, he was in my cab like about 15 times, and this is the bodega you're looking at now. Right there, there's the cab, the ass end of the cab. There, he kept coming out of there, and it was just the one shot of him getting in the cab. So every time he was there, they had to reset the shot, and I got to hang out with the guy, and I was like talking to him, and I said, "Mr. Bunny." He said, "No, call me Bad." I said, "Well,
I like that."
I said, "That'd be weird, man, you know." But anyway, he said, I said to him, before today, I had no idea who you were, right? Because when the guy told me, I made it seem like I knew who he was talking about, but then I, like, texted Wendy, and I'm like, "Wendy, like, who's Bad Bunny?"
Oh, man.
And she's like, "Oh, he's only the, like, #1 international, like, streaming artist of all time." Right? I go, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm going to be in this freaking video," which, by the way, this video got like 2 billion, Tony T. 2 billion views.
He's got 51.6 million subscribers.
561 million subscribers. And I guarantee they all watched this video 18 times.
It's got over 1 billion views. Dude.
Billion views, dude. And I was in that thing. And,
Well, your hand was.
Well, sometimes, even to this day, Tony T, like, I'm recognized. Like, I was in the supermarket, right? I was reaching for the lentil beans because they're on the top shelf, and I reached up there
You should have had like a little shit stain on your finger or something.
Yeah, the person's like, "Hey, I recognize your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Were you in Bad Bunny's last video, TT Segundo?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I can't even get a break anywhere, you know." But anyway, I said it's an interesting concept, Tony T, because you would relate to this and even like it, you know. It's that we all have a something that happens to us at a certain time of our life where we stop evolving or growing with music.
Right.
You know, it's like, for me, it's like the 70s and 80s, maybe, and 90s tops, where with Nirvana and Alice in Chains and like all of the grunge scene and everything. That was me. But I'll tell you, leading up to that time, I was evolving with music, and that's the last I remember evolving. And I said to Bad Bunny, I said, "Dude, I didn't know who you were before today, right?"
Wow, how did he take that?
He goes, "That's because you an old head," he said to me. And I said, "That's funny because that's what my kids call me too, and everything." But he laughed. He was very good natured about it. But he said he was very like intelligent, and he was like, "You know what it is?" He goes, of course, he's got an accent and the whole thing. He said, the thing about it is we all stop evolving at a certain point with like the music, and you when we talked about I stopped in the 80s and 90s, I like elevator music and yacht rock and
Right.
shit like that. I know the words to everything. But if you ask me today, I don't know who was what and where, except for, Tony T's band. I follow them all over the place. I know who they are. But, I don't know what's going on pop culture wise and everything. And so, that was my experience with Bad Bunny. And the original question was, what do you think about him being in the Super Bowl? I think it's fucking great.
Yeah. I think it's
Because
I don't think our current president was too.
dude, the
fond
people
of
on the right, their head is popping off. Your dad comes off the boat and he's got the fucking sauce and whatever, and next thing you know, he's on a boat back or whatever. I don't know, man. It's just it's a mean spirited thing that's happening, and okay, when Bad Bunny was signed, okay, to do the halftime show of the 2026 Super Bowl, that heads are exploding over it.
Yeah.
And the controversy, dude, is crazy.
Well, I mean, and dude, don't get me wrong. I mean, Aerosmith and fucking Prince, and I mean, we had Springsteen. I'm a classic rock guy, so I want to see that shit. But I get it, man. It's 2026, right?
Dude, I don't necessarily dig it when there's like all these like I can't remember who last year's halftime show was, but I remember it was very, very complex.
Yeah, it's a lot of production.
A lot of production,
Yeah.
a lot of dancing and dance routines, and
I think Michael Jackson had one of the best, right?
but even that was elaborate
For
right?
that era.
But
right?
it's a spectacle. The Super Bowl happens once a year. It's a holiday. For crying out loud, there's a movement to make the Monday after Super Bowl day a holiday, a federal holiday.
Yeah.
It's the absolutely biggest day of the year for people calling out. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to call out the next day?
Nah, man, I go to work, dude.
Yeah, because where are you going to work?
Right, you're looking at it.
Right the hell here. It's Sausage Hut Studios. You're remote workers, so what the fuck not? Totally agree with that.
We always keep Mondays a little light. you know
yeah,
what I mean,
man.
especially in the morning.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so. But you know what, though? You're going to be watching the Super Bowl. Give us your prediction for the Super Bowl. Give us a score.
You. Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's going to be Seattle's going to score a bunch of fucking points, and New England, they're probably maybe 2 touchdowns, maybe.
Yeah, right. You can
Field
see him
goal,
scoring 13
17,
points, 14 points.
Yeah, maybe. I'm with you. Maybe 31-17, right?
Yeah. I'm going to say right now, go on the record
34.
to say Drake May scores 1 running in, and Stephon Diggs scores the other touchdown.
There you go, man. You're getting deep.
Well, you know what it is? There's prop bets now, and people are on the FanDuel and all that kind of stuff. So, that's how it is. So, all right. So, everybody, this has been the Flixpop Radio Show. I don't want to go too long here with Tony T, because we are, tune in next time. Listen, if you guys haven't started to follow us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel, you're never going to be in the know. I mean, let's face facts here, guys, as we kind of like blow out of here today, all right? It's like the same thing as when you bring something to a family gathering, right? If you bring like just broccoli or something, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to piss on you, okay? But if you bring that great buffalo dip that everybody loves to the Super Bowl party, they're going to carry you around on their shoulders like Vince Lombardi winning the Super Bowl. They're going to carry you around on their shoulders like you were, Brett Favre winning the MVP at the Super Bowl.
Man, you're fucking. I want some of what you got, buddy.
It's just the gummies. What can I say?
Are they kicking in
They're
finally?
kicking in finally. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. But Tony T, you're awesome. Love you, bro. We'll see you guys all next time on the Flixpop Radio Show. Peace.